Don't let today's doom criers and cynics persuade you that the best is past, that from here on it's all downhill. You're going to have opportunities beyond anything that we've ever known.
We've gotten in the habit over the last 40 years of thinking that government has the answers. And if government would shut the doors and sneak away for about 3 weeks, we'd never miss them. There was a senator the other day listing all these crazy research programs and how much they were costing, and wound up his speech by introducing his own. He wants a study and a research of transcendental meditation. A study in which this was called the demography of happiness. And in this study, the government found out that young people are happier than old people. They found out that people that earn more are happier than people that earn less. People keep looking to government for the answer, and government's the problem. If they would just take a little inventory and look around, there's very little that government can do as efficiently and as economically as the people can do themselves.
William Faulkner, at a Nobel Prize ceremony some time back, said, "Man would not only endure, he will prevail against the modern world because he will return to the old verities and the truths of the heart." And let me tell you one other thing I know for sure. He is immortal because he alone among creatures has a soul, a spirit capable of compassion and sacrifice and endurance, prepared to make so many sacrifices. There will come times in the lives of all of us when we'll be faced with causes bigger than ourselves. Winston Churchill, during the darkest period of the Battle of Britain in World War II, said, "When great causes are on the move in the world, we learn we're spirit, not animal, and that something is going on in space and time and beyond space and time, which, whether we like it or not, spells duty." This nation was born when a band of men, the Founding Fathers, a group so unique we've never seen their like since, rose to such selfless heights. 56 men achieved security and standing in life, but valued freedom more. They pledged their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor. They gave us more than a nation. They brought to all mankind for the first time the concept that man was born free and that government was created by us for our convenience, having only the powers that we choose to give it. This experiment in man's relation to man is a few years into its third century. Saying that may make it sound quite old, but let's look at it from another viewpoint or perspective. If you could condense the entire history of life on Earth into a motion picture that would run for 24 hours a day, this idea that is the United States wouldn't appear on the screen until 3.5 seconds before midnight on December 31st. You know there are great unsolved problems. We still have a long way to go.
It's news. Bad things are news. We keep hearing the bad things. We hear the accusations, and we're kind of used to accepting the accusation as proof of guilt.
You are also, I know, looking at the future that seems uncertain to most of you, but which, let me assure you, offers great expectations. We who had preceded you had just gotten so busy that we let things get out of hand. We forgot that we were the keepers of the power. Well, at last, we're remembering. For too long, government has been fixing things that aren't broken and inventing miracle cures for unknown diseases. We took a giant step backward, spending like there was no tomorrow, opening the floodgates of printing press money. The bottom line was an unacceptable decline in the real wages, earnings, and buying power of the working families and senior citizens of America. It was Washington that grew fat and prosperous by making everyone else poorer. We live in the only country in the world where it takes more brains to figure out your income tax than it does. We need your youth, we need your strength, we need your idealism to help us make right that which is wrong. We can stand tall and proud on our record and on the hopes that we offer for the future. You have been and are critically looking at the mores and customs of the past and questioning their value. I know that you've been lectured at and spoken to, and a lot of things are going on. Don't discard the time-tested values upon which civilization was built simply because they're old. Each generation sees farther than the generation that preceded it because it stands on the shoulders of that generation. Our civilized ideas, our traditions, our values are not like the ideology and war machine of totalitarian societies, just a facade of strength. Our intellectual and spiritual values are rooted in the source of all strength, a belief in a supreme being and a law higher than our own. We concede no losses and we take no victories for granted. Hard work, personal initiative, opportunity, love of family, neighborhood, patriotism, and belief in God. This is the noble and rich heritage rooted in great civil ideas of the West, and it is yours. Those values so crucial to a strong and a successful country. Those were the values that we pledged to defend and restore. No force on earth can stop individuals from achieving great goals when they have the will and the heart to pull together and work together. We can turn the hopes of our people into the renewal. Of all the dreams and opportunities that our nation was placed on this earth to provide. When it's written, history of our time won't dwell long on the hardships of the recent past. You're free to be whatever you want to be with no one and nothing stopping you. In a free society, you're free to invent yourself, to turn yourself into a great teacher, a race car driver, a minister, or a movie star, or a grower and seller of flowers. You could be anything. It's your invention, and there's nothing to stop you. We're going to build a future together that will enable every one of you to reach for the stars, and you'll know what it is to enter the workforce or go to college in a land of prosperity, pride, and hope. When I was a young man, you knew that if you dreamed big and worked hard, there was no limit to how far you could go. You can't drink yourself sober, you can't spend yourself rich, and you can't prime the pump without pumping the prime. We hear so much breastbeating about fairness and compassion, particularly from the other side of the aisle. That's still not enough, but we're headed in the right direction and we'll make progress. We believe the money people earn belongs to them, not to government. And it's about time they were allowed to keep a bigger share.
There's mixed emotions when you step down. There's always things that you had left undone that you'd like to have done, but then all of a sudden the curtain's pulled and that chapter's over. And
My hope today is that in the years to come, it is your time to explain to another generation the meaning of the past and thereby hold out to them their promise of the future, that you'll recall the truths and traditions of which we've spoken. It is these truths and traditions that define our civilization, and now they're yours to protect and pass on. Now, you and I can fight that battle for them. We must fight it, and we will. Enjoy your freedom. Breathe it in. Use it to create the most important and moving thing a man or woman can create, a decent and meaningful life. Congratulations, and God bless you.